And now it's time to head over to George's house again with Children's GBC with George Buxton.
Good morning, everybody. Well, I don't know about you, and welcome to this Friday morning's edition of Children's GBC. Okay, now, I'm still here at the moment. I mean, it is very understandable because it's only because it's only like a week, because it has been a couple of days now since I first started here on a Tuesday afternoon. But I'm so glad to be back as a presenter in here again. So now on Children's GBC, to start off with, it's Rupert. Oh, and I'm not talking about the ITV series, no. I'm talking about the stories of Rupert the Bear, narrated by Ray Brooks. And in today's story, Rupert and the Magic Ball.
Rupert, you're a wonderful bear, a really, really wonderful bear.
As Rupert's on his way home after doing some shopping for his mum, he sees the Chinese conjurer's daughter, who's looking very glum.
You're a wonderful bear, we want you to know that we really care. From the start you want everyone's heart for the things you say and do. Make us all love you.
And that was Rupert and the Magic Ball. Yeah, because that was the episode to begin with. Yeah, and I'm so glad that Rupert had to cheer up a little girl first. I think she was called Tiger Lily for some reason. And also, she even managed to get the magic ball back to the daughter's emperor. Yeah, so basically that's Rupert. And I do mean the BBC series that are stories. So the next programme now is that, if you remember, back then on Tuesday when we premiered the series of King Rollo, well, here's the second episode. At this time, he is trying to get some new shoes. But which pair would it be fit right for King Rollo? Let's find out. Was King Rollo. Yeah, because I'm so glad that he had managed to get himself a new pair of shoes now, and I'm sure that fits snugly onto his feet now. So yeah, that's King Rollo. So the next programme now is going to be Albert the Fifth Musketeer. Oh yeah, thank you. Now the next programme is going to be Albert the Fifth Musketeer. Oh, at this time, he encounters Anatoly's treasure. Wow. But will they have gold coins or just jewels? And as Sue the Panda would say, or even pony videos. Obviously not, because it's obviously a France treasure we're talking about. So anyways, here's today's episode of Albert the Fifth Musketeer.
Clever inventions, you know his intentions to help whenever he can. If you want something sorted like enemies thwarted, then Albert is your man. His name is Albert. Albert. He's Albert the Fifth Musketeer. He's there at the double whenever there's trouble with wood and string and stuff. The things that he makes have just what it takes whenever the going gets rough. His name is Albert. Albert. He's Albert the Fifth Musketeer. He's sharp, he's cool, he's nobody's fool. He's Albert the Fifth Musketeer. If you've been dropped in it, he's there in a minute. That's faithful Albert's way. He's got no pretension, just lots of invention that always saves the day. Hooray for Albert! He's rough, his name is Albert. Albert! He's Albert the Fifth Musketeer. He's sharp, he's cool, he's nobody's fool. He's Albert the Fifth Musketeer.
And that was Albert the Fifth Musketeer. Well, mind you, Anatoly's treasure, well, I don't think that's very much of treasure as such. But hey, it's better than nothing in France. So that's Albert. So the next programme now is going to be Playdays. At this time, we're in a poppy stop. in which someone is coming to stay. But who? Well, I think some of you may know him because obviously he's called Jones, but I don't think I can tell you who he is though. But anyways, here's Playdays to find out more.
It's the play bus. But where does it go? Where does it stop? What's inside of the lollipop? Stop! It's the poppy stop. But look, you sit there, Rog, and tell me which books I should take with me. I like it when people come to stay. You never know. You might have someone coming to stay with you very soon. Bye-bye. Come on now, Rog. No snoring.
And that was Playdays. Well, mind you, I'm so glad that someone came to stay. For those of you who wondered who was called Jones, well, obviously it's Grandpa Jones. Obviously, yeah, that explains why he looks a bit old. Not like Carl, who was the presenter of a Poppy Stop. But anyways, that's Playdays, and I'm sure we'll have more of that probably on tomorrow. We'll probably have more Playdays probably next week. So right now on Children's GBC now, it's time for Noddy's Toyland Adventures. And in today's episode, and it marks the very first episode in which Noddy loses sixpence, all because he keeps losing things. So will he be able to get the stuff back that some people lost? Well, let's find out.
Noddy, the little man with the red and yellow car. Noddy, his tinkling bell means he's the happiest little fellow in all Toyland. Tomorrow brings for Noddy, Noddy, Noddy.
Was Noddy's Toyland Adventures. Well, I'm so glad that Big Ears came to help Noddy to search for the lost things. Like Miss Pink Cat's tail for a start, because obviously Martha Monkey was wearing it as like a scarf. Well, mind you, I mean, I know that autumn/winter is coming, but hey, it's better to have it rather than not. Oh yes, and the same goes with Dinah Doll's blue purse that was strangely in a red bag. So anyways, the next programme now is moving on from Toyland and moving on to the village of Greendale. And because sadly, this is Postman Pat's last ever episode to be featured as a classic series before the reboot comes along. So here's Postman Pat, and today he's giving a mystery tour for the children. But will they enjoy it? Well, let's find out.
Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and his black and white cat. Early in the morning, just as day is dawning, he picks up all the post bags in his van. Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and his black and white cat. All the birds are singing, and the day is just beginning. Pat feels he's a really happy man. Everybody knows his bright red van. All his friends will smile as he waves to greet them. Maybe you can never be sure. There'll be knock, ring, letters through your door.
I'll drink to that. Funny. Oh,
I'm afraid I forgot to check. Do you think she will mind staying?
Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and his black and white cat.
And that was Postman Pat. And sadly, that was the last ever episode to be featured as a classic series now, because, the stop-motion animated series. So, obviously, I'm so glad that Postman Pat has been given a tour around the mystery tour around Greendale, searching for some things. So anyway, that's Postman Pat. And now moving on to the next programme now, as obviously moving on from Greendale all the way to Manchester, which is Sooty and Co. And today's episode, Scampy thinking that he was a bit too small, when really, Matthew is going to be sorting out the problems as well. So now, here's Sooty and Co.
Hey ho, it's Sooty and Co. Everybody say hello. There's Sooty and Sweet and of course Sue and little cousin Scampy. There'll be fun galore with the terrible four. Just you wait and see. It's Sooty and Company. Sooty and Company.
Hello, grasshoppers. Excuse me, because I have a task to perform.
We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Oh, little Scampy. Look at it. He's only small, but he's...
And that was Sooty and Co. Well, I'm so glad that Scampy has learned that being small is okay, but being big is obviously a bit too much of a big problem. For what you didn't realise, because there was Paul Surdin, who was in a previous episode from Series 4 of Tiny Box, and the same goes with the other guest presenter, special guest, I mean. The special guest was Frank Bruno, who was a boxer at that time. So obviously he was much bigger than Matthew. That is so funny if you ask me. So anyways, the next programme now is going to be The Animal Shelf. And it's another series premiere now. At this time, it's called Stripey to the Rescue. But will Stripey come to the rescue of his friends? Well, just because Get Up and Stripey are getting a bit old. Well, anyways, you'll find out for this episode, and you'll soon find out why.
Five soft toys on a little blue shelf. They all belong to Timothy. He chose them himself. They have a lot of fun playing everywhere. So let's get to know them, and we'll start with the bear. He's called Gumper. He likes to snooze in the sun, and here's little Mutt. He's always doing it wrong. This is Woeful the monkey. He looks quite sad, but he's never ever grumpy. And Stripey the zebra, whose wool is very lumpy. But who's this lying on the ground? Her name's Get Up, she's always falling down. They all belong to Timothy, he chose them himself. They have a lot of fun playing everywhere. They're Timothy's special friends. They're Timothy's special friends on the animal shelf.
was the animal shelf. Well, I think that's the other programme done now. So anyway, the next programme now, and before anyone else is asking, I have not got hairy armpits. Well, and never mind a certain egghead about it. I think that no hair bears such an egghead of a armpit. Oh, I heard that. Oh, anyway, so coming up next on Children's GBC now, it's Hairy Jeremy. At this time, he've learned that calling anyone an egghead is not very nice, but is it? Well, let's find out in today's episode of George's Hairy Armpits. Oh, here's Hairy Jeremy, everybody.
He's not a superhero, nor a poet, or a king. He doesn't drive a car or do much of anything, but he's hairy.
Scary? No, hairy.
He has no superpowers, and I've never seen him fly. No secret hideaway, and no all-seeing eye. He's just hairy.
Hairy.
He's most definitely hairy.
Hairy.
His name is Jeremy, and he's hairy.
Hairy.
Unquestionably.
One evening, whilst walking up Greystone Mountain, Jeremy sees something he has never seen before.
And that was Hairy Jeremy, and I certainly do not mean hairy armpits. Yeah, because, mind you, Hairy Jeremy is a caveman who's a bit hairy. Yeah, just like my hair here. Yeah, I'll probably need to get a haircut very soon. And in fact, well, I think I'm going to get a haircut done today. Or after I go through, after I've done this continuity, I promise. So anyway, the next programme now, moving away from a cave world and moving on to Let's Be Avenue Junior School. Oops, I meant let's just take a break from Series 2 at the moment because we're going to have a classic episode from Series 7. At this time, it's all about Bodger and Badger, in which Mrs. Drabell have moved into a new flat upstairs and... kidding. It's just the way what Badger fated. Well, anyways, you'll soon find out in this episode of Bodger and Badger in Too Close for Comfort.
Everybody knows Badger loves mashed potatoes. To shapes and eats them every day. Bodger and Badger, Bodger and Badger. La 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 la. Bodger and Badger, Bodger and Badger. It's pouring. Simon is snoring.
Yes, Mrs. Drabell. Oh, what a night.
Everywhere he goes, Bodger always knows. Badger, his badger mates, is never far away. Bodger and Badger, Bodger and Badger. La 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 la. Bodger and Badger again.
And that was Bodger and Badger. But sadly, Mrs. Drabell is staying in a flat, so every time when Mrs. Drabell comes in, Simon will only have to keep Badger out of sight from now on. Yeah, but I do feel a bit sorry if Badger keeps hiding. It's because they just don't want to be thrown out. But anyways, that's Bodger and Badger for you. So the next programme now is going to be Chuckle Vision, and today they are going to be Safari Park Keepers. That means keeping an eye on the safari park to make sure it's all safe and well, ready for the safari park to be open. And as they say, to me, to you, to me, or should I just say, to you, to me, to go over to the safari park. that was the Chuckle Brothers, otherwise known as Chucklevision. Well, I know that sometimes they do tend to get a bit wrong because of those classic jokes. Oh yeah, especially the one that there is no such thing as a tune from Minibus Madness that we've had last time. So yeah, that was Safari Park Keepers. Anyway, so that's pretty much about it for this Friday morning on Children's GBC. But don't forget, there'll be more fun with George Buxton, who will present some few programmes coming your way this afternoon. So don't miss it. So until then, for me, George, signing off. Goodbye.
You're watching GTV. Now, if you remember back in Series 5 when the Bernie Show had a new intro, well, you'll be very pleased to know that, here we go then, for the first time ever on GTV, here we have the brand new series of The Bernie Show. And I wonder what Bernie Gang are up to today. Well, let's have a look. Oh, and may I point out that this program may contain strong language, which some viewers may find it offensive. Enjoy.
This is the small house where everything is peaceful there. Everything is all wonderful up until one day something strange happens. Those pesky Muppets just turned up. So, here comes the Bernie Gang, crazy and laughs. They do some stuff is what they can do. Bernie, Yo Bro, Daddy Punch, and so many others. He and his mates all knew what's coming. The gags, the craze, something that everyone can't lie to make them laugh. So because of their own silly lives, it's all happening here on the Bernie Show! The Bernie Show.
Don't you dare start.
Well, it's that time again.
There you have it. That was the premiere series of The Bernie Show. And of course, don't forget, later on this afternoon, we will be having another episode of The Bernie Show. At this time, however, Mr. Punch, however, will become as James Bond. Or should I just say, James Punch. George Buxton gets punched. Ow! We'll be right back after this song. Carry on, boy.
With the garden and the daylight and the moonlight, but don't forget to bring in some Bernie too. So we sing the Bernie blues, and that's there for all of us to know. Hell yeah!
And now it's time for another Carry On classic. It's Carry On Up the Khyber.